So welcome back to the Sawmill, friends. We're working down the shop this morning. Let me show you what's going on. I'm doing some electrical work today. I'm installing a new outlet right there. That's 110. It's going to work off of this switch right here. I'll explain that here in a few minutes. And right now I'm finishing the wire run. I need to go from right there, up the wall, through the wall, and into the motor room, into the panel. I'm also going to move this little table. It's pretty much the charging station for all the battery powered tools. Right there's the batteries and the charger. And I use my two EcoFlow units right there, and this is not sponsored by EcoFlow, to power those tools. You guys give me a hard time sometimes about these little sponsored videos on the power units, but I'm telling you, I use these all the time, and they're real handy for keeping these little batteries powered up. I'm going to take that little table and put it over here on this wall right beside the new switch. And here's why. We're going to be installing a new air compressor this morning. And the shop does not have one, and I've needed one for a long time down here. This is a 6-gallon. It's 2 horsepower. It's made by a company called Vever. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Vever maybe? I don't know. But anyways, we'll put that on the bottom shelf of that table, and that outlet switch will be really handy so we can turn the compressor on and off without having to bend over and use the power button. Run this wire. This shouldn't take too long. Now, we'll pull the wire through this access hole and go hook it up to the panel. And usually I would cut this off and kind of estimate how much I need. But with wire being so expensive nowadays, I don't want to waste any. Alright friends, I had to finish that job without you. I had to shut the power down in here, and the lighting was terrible as far as the camera goes. So I brought the cable up there through the wall on top of my little cable tray right there, and then down into the panel. I got that on a 20-amp breaker. I need to come back here and put the cover back on the panel though. We got our switch, and that will power our outlet right there at the bottom. And I put this picture on Instagram the other day, and somebody asked me why I was using these deep boxes right here. They're a lot larger than your usual ones. And guys, I prefer these because they give you more area inside the box to run your wires and to kind of curl them up in the back out of the way, especially when there's a splice going on right here where connection happens on the switch. And these are about $1 more than your regular ones, but I think it's easier to work out of. I use those all the time. I got that on my outlet down there, and on this little switch right here for the lights. That one's not as deep, but it is larger than your usual box. Getting a little warm in here today. Summer is on its way. I need to get that Mr. Cool system hooked up this year, but I need doors before that. It won't do me no good without any doors. So now we're gonna bring that table over here. We'll put the air compressor on it, hook it up, and also hang the hose reel on this post right here. And hopefully, if everything goes right, it will come on when I flip the switch. I've not even tested this out yet, so hopefully it's going to work. Go ahead first and hang the hose reel. Little mounting plate here first to hang it on. Grab my torpedo level. I can't stand to look at stuff hanging on the wall and it be crooked. Drives me crazy. All right, guys, I got that installed. That would have been a whole lot easier if I'd have had somebody to help me hold it up there. But works pretty good. It's got a stop on it, and it retracts back. It's supposed to be 50 feet long. And it also swivels there in both directions. We got our table in place. Let me set the compressor up here for just a second. It's going to go on the bottom shelf, but we can take a better look at it up here. Well, I got it backwards, but before I turn it around, it does have a little breaker for overload protection right here on the back, it looks like. So we'll flip it around and take a look at the other side. So this is a 2 horsepower compressor. It's made by, like I said, Weaver. I'm not really sure how you pronounce that, but it's 6 gallons. It runs off 110 volts. I think it pulls about 12 amps based on the calculations I did with the watts. Looks like a pretty good compressor, and I've been honest with you, I've not cut it on yet. I just got this about a week ago, and yes, this company did send me this for free to try out and see what I think about it. And this is not a sponsored video by them or nothing like that. I'm just going to try this out and see if I like it. And if I like it, I'll let you guys know. They also sent me the hose reel as well. And there's links down below. You can get these on Amazon. And for what the price is on them, for less than $300, you can have a 6-gallon compressor and a hose reel both. So it's not too bad. But I'm not sure how it's going to run. Hopefully, it works today. So we'll plug it in and see how it goes. All right, so it's going to live on the bottom shelf right here. Need to bring this hose down. That's what connects the reel to the compressor. And I don't have a lot of air tools as far as using this thing. The main reason I want it in the shop, a little bit of air in there already actually. Huh, must have came from the factory. They must have tested it or something. But the main reason I wanted one of these in the shop is not for tools. I got a few air tools, not very many down here. But to take the air gun I already got on the hose reel right there and blow the machines out, like the molder and the planer. Sometimes the chip extractor doesn't get all the chips out and you can't get to them. And it would be nice to have an air compressor down here to blow those out. So that's the main reason we got it down here. And a 6-gallon compressor should be plenty enough to do that. I don't think I need like a 20 or a 60-gallon compressor just to blow machines out, you know, once or twice a day. That's probably overkill. So let me see, that's hooked up. Our switch is off. So if I did my wiring right, there's no power on the compressor right now. We're gonna put it in the on position, which it was already. I turned it off, and see if this works. If one of you guys want to start the drum roll, I'd really appreciate it. I'm just kidding. See if this works. Huh, it don't work. And I'll tell you why it don't work. Let me point the camera down lower. I didn't plug it in. Us YouTubers are supposed to know everything. I can't believe I didn't plug that in. Turn the switch back off. Let's try that again. It ain't gonna work unless you plug it up there, Nathan. My goodness. All right. Let me point the camera back up again. One more time with the drum roll. I'm just kidding. Let's see if this works. It should work this time. It should have worked last time. I didn't have it plugged in. Hooray! Looky there. It doesn't vibrate the table, so that's good. Come over here and dust out this planer. I'm sure there's some wood chips hiding up in there. Tell you what, friends, I like it. That works pretty good. I should have put one in the shop a year ago. We do have one problem though. This little line that goes down the compressor, I was trying to hide it behind this walnut brace, but it's getting caught up right there. Putting a little too much tension on the hose reel. We'll have to change that. Probably run it another direction. And I may have to move my fire extinguisher. Yep, probably have to move that. I don't want to have no obstructions in front of it. Well, I don't like the looks of that. It's out of the way, but it kind of hangs down here. It just doesn't look good. Maybe I could run it back the way it was and have some slack on the very top and put something up there to hold it maybe. Let me think on it in a minute. You guys go grab a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. All right, friends, the problem solver is back. I think this will work. I put a strap right there on the top, and that's going to keep the slack up there out of the way, and it won't get binded on this walnut brace. And let me tilt the camera over. When I swing the hose either direction of the shop, it doesn't get kinked up on anything. And also, I'll move the compressor back against the wall. And I know that's a small detail, but I'm trying to show everything I do on the channel now, guys, so bear with me. And in case you're wondering, we are going to finish this wall right here. I know it looks bad. It's not even a load-bearing wall. It's just framed in, and it separates these two rooms. But I got some more pine in the kiln that we just dried, and I'll be running that through the molder probably toward the end of this week. Maybe by Thursday, I'm not sure. I gotta look at my schedule. I got everything wrote down. But sometime toward the end of this week, we'll be putting shiplap on this wall and covering all this up. It'll look really nice. Before I forget about it, I better finish relocating that fire extinguisher. So with a little bit of time that I have left today, I got some plans this afternoon. I guess we should work on these doors and try to make some progress on them. The underside is pretty much done. Now we need to do the same thing to the top side. We'll be putting 1x6s in here with pine with tongue and groove on both sides of them. And also some insulation right here in these voids. But before we do that, I need to true it up just a little. Right there is a little uneven. So this board is twisted just a little, or it shrank a little. I'm not sure which one. Or this board right here has swelled up with the humidity in summertime. So we need to true these up wherever we have a joint right there, because I don't want boards laying on here and being lopsided and having a bow in them. And to do that, we're going to use the Lee Nelson number 7 jointer plane. Alright guys, I got that trued up pretty good, or close enough rather. Now we'll put some insulation right here in the middle and mill up some more boards so we can close this thing up. I'm not sure how this insulation is going to go. I better grab some gloves. Even if these joints open up the tongue and groove on the outer or inner side of this door, you'll never see this insulation because it's tongue and groove. So in the wintertime, when it does draw up a little, there's still enough coverage with the joint to where this insulation won't be visible. It looks like we need to run to the lumber store to pick up some pine. And I know, before anybody says anything, I know I need a haircut. I'm going tomorrow, trust me. 9 o'clock in the morning, I got my appointment. So get your comments out of your system. Go ahead. Talk amongst yourselves how long my hair is. I know. It needs cut. It'll be cut tomorrow. So anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so let's go run to the lumber store and get some pine. You guys hang in there. At least the lumber store isn't too far from the shop.